It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, the new India-Pakistan rivalry is here. Arshad Nadeem wins gold and Neeraj Chopra won silver at the Javelin event. It broke the internet. What has made this duo the most exciting face-off in the world of sport, especially when it comes to athletics? How have the two reached the zenith of their sport to become the biggest rivals? One fought poverty, the other cliches. Noah Lyles is the talk of the town once more, but not for a photo finish this time. He ran the 200-meter sprint despite being COVID positive. No rules being broken here though, but fans and fellow athletes are not happy. Wait to know more on this. And breaking is all over the internet today because the newly inducted event at the Olympics is ready to take center stage. Who are the B-girls and B-boys to watch out for in this sporting discipline? But first, a look at the headlines. Starting with the gender row controversy from the Olympics, Russia hits out at Algeria during a UN meet. This over the gender row surrounding Algerian boxer Imane Khalif. Russia's UN Deputy Ambassador said Khalif's inclusion in the Olympics, despite failing the gender test at the World Championships last year, was imposing an LGBT agenda on the rest of the world. Over in basketball, the US men's basketball team will face France for gold. This after USA beat Serbia 95-91 in a closely contested game. At the start of the final quarter, Serbia were leading 76-63, but Steph Curry's 2 3-pointers took USA home. Team USA will now be eyeing their 5th consecutive gold in this event. South Korea's Olympics medalist Kim Ye-ji collapsed during a press conference. Ye-ji had become a popular figure after winning silver in the women's 10-meter air pistol event. The Korean received a heroic welcome, and while addressing the media, she fainted. Ye-ji regained consciousness just enough to be taken to the hospital, where she's under observation. Over in wrestling, India's Aman Sherawat lost in the semi-finals of the men's 57-kilogram freestyle event. He was defeated by Japan's Ri Higuchi 10-0 in a bout that lasted just 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Sherawat will now compete in the bronze medal bout against Darian Cruz of Puerto Rico. And summing it up with cricket, Sri Lanka has raised security concerns over its upcoming test series against England. They've flagged off the ongoing anti-immigrant riots in Britain. Sri Lankan players are already in England training before the 3-match series that begins on the 21st of August and goes on till September 10th. The players have asked Sri Lankan Cricket Board for better security arrangements. Now look at this picture. When was the last time you saw India and Pakistan on an Olympic podium of a track and field event? I'll give you the answer right away. Never. That's Pakistan's Arshad Nadeem and India's Neeraj Chopra post the Javelin event. And take a second closer look. See anything else interesting in there? That podium also has a West Indian who finished 3rd. Yes, no European athlete in the top 3 of a Javelin event. Any idea how many years since not a single European made it to the podium of the Javelin event? 116 years. It's for the very first time that the world saw a non-European 1, 2, 3 finish at Javelin. History indeed created. And what makes this seemingly non-intense, individualistic competition that much more interesting is the men who took gold and silver. 2 exceptional athletes for Pakistan and India, who are redefining the India versus Pakistan rivalry. A rivalry that has lost its fizz in cricket. The recently concluded T20 World Cup is proof of that. A rivalry that is almost non-existent now in hockey. The last time Pakistan beat India in this sport in a major tournament was in 2014. Sure, there is squash that sprung to life last year at the Asian Games, we won't forget that. But this one here, Nadeem and Neeraj, has character, has intense rivalry and genuine appreciation and respect. That makes for a compelling story to tell. Now, who is Nadeem? He is the son of a construction worker, in fact, one of 7. A hard life. His father was the single earning member, so not much of a financial support otherwise, very little means, and just the most basic infrastructure. Childhood was a hand-to-mouth existence, managing to survive. An interest in cricket was there initially, no surprises there, of course, it's Pakistan. But it led to a switch to athletics because of his build, and of course, he wanted to be part of an individual sport. Now, all he needed was a stick and a maidan, or an open ground. Initially, bamboo shaved and shaped to look like a javelin. He trained hard, and even after he became the national champion in 2015, it was all up to Nadeem and his first mentor and coach, Rashid Ahmed Saki. The very first time, in fact, that Nadeem and Neeraj went head-to-head was in 2016. At the South Asian Games, where Nadeem clinched bronze and Neeraj went away with gold. From then on, they have crossed paths many a time, and the relationship, of course, has formed a bit of a friendship off the field. So much so that when Neeraj heard of Nadeem struggling to get any support and not even having proper javelin to train with, Neeraj Chopra himself made a public appeal. Which brings me to Neeraj, India's blue-eyed boy, and there is little doubt in there. He's a champion, no doubt, because one of the most important traits of a champion is consistency, and he has that in spades. You just have to see the consistent throws that he's made over and above the 85-meter mark that he's registered in his career. In fact, that list there, which is 88 plus, is envious. He only got better as he grew in the sport, and after a point, he continuously threw 88 meters or more. Most of those events there where he clinched gold. The fact that he is the only Indian athlete to win 2 Olympic medals in track and field is secondary. To think that he made a whole country feel that he fell short despite a silver only speaks of his competence and his talent, one the world recognizes. And then, of course, a true champion is raised like one, with humility, a quiet sense of pride, and a heart of gold.
I have been competing against Arshad since 2016, but this is the first time I have lost to him. But credit where credit is due. Arshad has worked really hard, and he was better than me on the night. Congratulations to him.
The Indian javelin star saying that the Pakistan superstar was better than him on the night. In fact, the first thing that Neeraj Chopra's mother, Saroja, said when asked about her son's performance and of coming in second is that she's proud of Neeraj Chopra and that her other son like Nadeem, too, for winning gold. In fact, the very same words that Nadeem's mother had said too, that she prays for Neeraj. That's where Neeraj and Nadeem both get their sense of composure, the maturity and champion-like demeanor from. Neeraj is the champion beyond the field. What an engaging rivalry this is turning out to be. On one hand is a Pakistani athlete who has fought hard all his life with almost nothing to emerge victorious. In fact, the moment Nadeem registered that humongous Olympic record-breaking throw of 92.97 meters, he covers his face, overawed with emotion. The fact that he could be Pakistan's first ever Olympic gold medal winner in athletics, dawning on him right then, yet he keeps a check on his tears and carries on. Because to him, it's not over just yet. That's humility. And on the other hand, there is Neeraj Chopra, who is truly growing into being not just a nearly unbeatable athlete in his field, but an ambassador of the sport. One who voices what he feels, stands for what he truly believes in, and fights with all his heart. The same Neeraj who has developed a strong bond with Nadeem will be planning on how to defeat him the next time they square off. That's what makes this rivalry so exciting and one to look forward to in the chapters to come. Of course, Noah Lyles is in the eye of a storm. He started the week gloriously when he clinched the gold in the 100-meter dash in a photo finish. And right after that, there were talks of Lyles doing the double, making this an epic games edition for the American. And all the buzz was just as resounding when he stood at the start of his mark ahead of the 200-meter race. But the self-appointed heir of Usain Bolt flattered to deceive. He finished third, but that's not the only reason why he's in the news. It was later found out that Lyles had run the race despite testing positive for COVID. Now here's what's happened. Team USA were aware of his positive status even before Lyles took to the track. And he did not show any signs of it though, no signs of being weak. He looked pumped, came bounding onto the tracks, getting the crowd all excited. It looked like business as usual from Lyles. The race itself was rather close, though not as nerve-wracking as the 100-meter dash. Botswana's Letsil Tibogo finished the race in 19.46 seconds. Noah Lyles crossed the finish line in 19.70, but even before the winner could be hailed and the race could be properly reviewed, everyone's attention was drawn to Lyles, who crumpled down onto the floor and within minutes was carried off in a wheelchair. After Lyles won the 100-meter dash earlier this week, he tweeted about his condition and how he struggled and battled asthma and anxiety to come out on top. But this was worse. Lyles had just run an Olympic race battling COVID too, in his condition of having asthma. That's deadly.
I was coughing through the night. I'm more proud of myself than anything, coming out here to get a bronze with COVID. I was quite lightheaded after that race. Shortness of breath, chest pain, but after a while I could catch my breath and get my wits about me. I'm a lot better now.
He, of course, displayed exceptional strength and stamina, no doubt, but many have come out questioning why Lyles was allowed to run alongside other athletes despite having COVID. But what do the rules say, and what's Paris' status regarding COVID-positive cases? Let me tell you, in the past 2 weeks alone, at least 20 players at the village had tested positive for COVID, which included key players like British swimmer Adam Peaty, Australian swimmers Lani Pellister and Zach Stubbletty-Cook, among many others. In fact, during the entire Games, at least 40 athletes have tested positive for COVID. Now, at the Tokyo Olympics, there was a strict protocol set by the organizers as the pandemic was still at its peak. Organizers of the Paris Games had decided to relax the rules when it came to COVID, dropping all previous COVID protocols. Now, COVID is basically seen like any other respiratory illness, such as the common cold or the flu. It's up to the athletes and the teams, though, to determine for themselves how to prevent the infection or protect themselves and prevent the spread. In Noah Lyles' case, the US team said they followed every possible measure to ensure there was no spread of COVID. But did Lyles follow all of these measures? Well, you cannot possibly mask up in a sprint, certainly not when you're asthmatic, but he didn't maintain distance with the other runners either. He shook hands with the gold medalist, even hugged him. Lyles even interacted with other athletes after the race. So clearly, some criticism was bound to follow. Now, while Lyles may have shown utmost strength and resilience by running despite being down with COVID, he definitely did not show restraint or any regard to his fellow athletes, is what they feel, some of whom are yet to compete in the 4x100 meter and 4x400 meter relays. And while Lyles' Olympics campaign might have come to a premature end due to COVID, he did say that he might not be able to take part in the relays later. His fellow competitors are still fighting for medals, so his nonchalance did anger many. But more than that, Lyles' attitude seems to have irked them more, because before the 200-meter run, Lyles had gone to town talking of how he will wipe everyone out of the race by winning it. No wonder the gold medal winner, Tebogo, took a bit of a cheeky dig at Lyles.
I can't be the face of athletics as I'm not a loud or arrogant person like Noah.
The one thing I want to add here as we wrap this story up, the race should have been about a country winning its first ever gold medal, a historic moment. A gold medalist who just lost his mother, going all out to win this for her. Instead, it's about an American who, sure, is one of the most talented runners in the world today, but whose lack of civic sense and ill-timed bravado seems to be hogging the headlines. Dancing is no more just a hobby, no more part of an opening ceremony or a closing act. It's a competitive sport now. Breakdancing is all set to make its debut at the Paris Olympics, and it's set to take place in just some moments from now. The world is excited to witness a unique competition because here the participants aren't athletes or players, they are B-boys and B-girls, and the sport is breaking. So who are the top contenders in this unique sporting discipline, and how will the winner be judged? Here's a report.
When breaking was introduced as a sport at the Paris Olympics, it shattered some stereotypes. The art of breakdancing will finally meet athleticism. And unlike gymnastics, the twists and turns won't just have a systematic routine, but a beat that needs to be matched. And the winner won't just be decided on what looks stunning. There are parameters set. The B-boys and B-girls, as they are called, will be divided into groups and will be judged on technique, vocabulary, execution, musicality, and of course, originality. Given the popularity of the sport in America, the American B-boys and B-girls are key participants in this discipline, and one of the favorites is Victor. He's been a dominant figure in the world of breaking for the last decade. The 30-year-old won the Breaking World Championships.
This is something that I've been thinking about because my main goal was like gold medal, Olympics. And then now it's like, wait a minute, I'm representing a whole culture. I'm representing hip hop, and I'm representing like the essence of that. And we're going to be at this big Olympic stage. We're going to have all eyes on us.
But it won't be as straightforward as it seems, because he will have a younger competitor and a rising sensation in Shige kicks. The fact that he was Japan's flag bearer speaks volumes of his achievements. The 22-year-old has been on the circuit for 15 years. And for him, the Olympics experience isn't new, because the Japanese won the bronze medal at the 2018 Youth Olympics. He was just 16 back then.
I really hope to enjoy this Olympics to the fullest, and I think my message to everyone will be conveyed through the stage where I have the most fun. I'm sure the results will follow naturally. I think what I want to focus on first is the accomplishment on the stage.
The Japanese may look all sweet and naive on the outside, but in the ring, he has the capacity to floor anyone. Just like his compatriot, Emi Uwasa. A once-shy Emi is now a tough athlete, ready to dazzle at the biggest stage of them all. Emi's won the BC1 World Final in 2018, which was her first major break. And then many more trophies followed, the biggest being the World Championships in 2019 and then again in 2022.
I think the most important thing is to enjoy myself to the fullest. I want to leave my mark on that stage and show people who B-girl Amy is and what breaking is all about.
While we have some established names leading the pack, breaking has given a new purpose to many. For a war-ridden country like Ukraine, it comes as an outlet to express. The Ukrainian B-boys and B-girls are looking at this as an opportunity to not just represent their country, but also showcase Ukraine's culture.
Yeah, it's pretty tough and hard time for Ukraine, but I'm really glad that I have chance to represent the country. I mean, the people there are really good and beautiful. I love the culture. I really trying to go deeper into Ukrainian culture. I mean, I'm study a little bit of Ukrainian national dance. Hopak and other types of dances, and I try to evolve it into my breaking.
The inclusion of breaking will give another dimension to the Olympic Games. The beats, hops and synchronized moves, everyone is excited to get in on the action and witness this firsthand.
Sounds complex, that, but that's what the Olympics is about. It's about the sweat, the blood, the toil, heartbreaks and triumphs. But this edition is also about the glitz and the glamour. In fact, the outfits of superstars like Celine Dion, Lady Gaga, Aya Nakamura are out on display in a gallery in the city. What's sports without a bit of fashion? But that does it here on Firstpost. Do stay tuned over the weekend to catch a very special episode on the Olympics coming your way. But I'll take your leave. I'll see you on the other side.